All right, what's going on, everyone? This is a shoe review, so obviously we should probably start talking about the shoe. Just a little bit off top, I haven't skated the shoe too much. I've skated it for about 3 sessions now. The first session you see in the video, it's broken pretty well, but we'll get into how it broke in a little bit more later. Overall, pretty solid shoe. Is it in focus? There we go. Yeah, pretty solid shoe. So just like a basic overview of the shoe, it's as you can tell, it's a mid top. Vulcanized sole, which I really like. I prefer vulcanized over cup sole, I feel, though I am starting to lean towards a thicker shoe, just kind of getting older a bit, I guess, and the extra impact support really helps. But it's a cool shoe. It has like a variety of materials and a handful of colorways, so they've got a bunch of different flavors if that's what you're into. And yeah, I think from what I can tell so far, I feel like it's a pretty robust shoe. Like I said, I haven't skated it too much. I haven't gave it like the full couple months wearing, so we'll see how it goes as I start to wear it more. But so far, so good. One thing I want to talk about on this shoe is that I feel like it's a little bizarre. I feel like depending upon the colorway you purchase will impact the materials of construction of the shoe. And so I think I have an earlier iteration because when I checked the New Balance site, I couldn't find my colorway on the site. And so the colors that were available and the selections that were available, when I looked at them, they used different materials. So for example, on the shoe I just showed you, I'll pull it up again. You can see, let's get it in focus first. Oh, there we go. You can see this like upper layer on like the toe and coming from this like outsole up, this extra layer, that's all leather. But when I looked on the New Balance site, they replaced the leather for suede. And I'm not mad at that. I don't know. Suede is classic. You can't go wrong. But just something to keep in mind if you're looking into this shoe. If you buy like the older pair like I did, you might get leather, canvas, and obviously like the rubber outsole. Whereas the new shoes, the new colorways, I think it replaces that leather for suede. So it'll be the rubber outsole, canvas, and suede. I'll play some videos as I'm talking over this. So yeah, my pair is constructed of like a canvas quarter and tongue with like bits of leather that can be found like above the outsole, like on that extra strip of leather I showed you earlier, and on the quarter, as well as the eye stays, like where like your laces go. Those are also leather, which is, I think that's pretty good. Helps kind of protect your laces, not covering your laces or anything, but kind of helps protect like just the eyelets in general. I don't know. I've had shoes where I've blown those out, so that's a plus for me. All right, let's get into the break-in. Yeah, how do these shoes break in? I didn't think they were bad. I gotta start by saying that I did wear them for about 3 weeks to a month, just like here or there, to kind of help break them in before skating. Maybe honestly too much. They could have lost some grip on the bottom of the shoe, but my board's actually kind of messed up. I need to replace my board ASAP, but the grip is toast. Yeah, so it already feels kind of slick on top, but I don't think that's due to the shoes. But when I first put them on, I almost immediately noticed the arch support I had compared to the shoes that I typically skate. The shoes that you currently skate are the Telford lows, like Lukai Telford lows, and those feel pretty flat in comparison, or it could just be because I'm used to them. The last 3 shoes I've had were the Lukai, so there's a good chance that I'm just too used to Lukais. Hey, all good though. Love those shoes. Hard to describe that feeling of like a new shoe. To me, they typically feel kind of like heavy, if that makes sense. Maybe cumbersome. I'm not sure. For lack of a better word, it's hard to describe, right? Like you can feel your board, and you can they feel fine when you're walking, but like you land, you wheel bite, like on things you wouldn't really wheel bite on. And so I don't know. Yeah, I think heavy is like the best way I can describe new shoes, but I didn't get that feeling too much when I had these, when I was skating these, when I had these on. But again, that could be because I broke them in so much just by walking. And I mean, although it wasn't happening often, obviously you still experience that with new shoes. It doesn't even matter. I don't know. You could skate the exact same shoe every single time, but the moment you go onto like a new fresh pair, you're always going to have that feeling. So I don't know. I'm not better, not worse than any other shoe I've skated recently. No better break-in, no worse break-in. Right on par. I will say now I'm going to kind of start playing some of the clips. I wanted to go through and do 10 nollie flips, 10 switch flips, and 10 nollie hard flips. Those are kind of like my favorite tricks, most consistent tricks, and tricks that I just feel super confident in. So it's like kind of like, hey, if I miss a switch flip, I can kind of like, oh, okay, it was the shoe, you know, because like I'm fairly consistent with that flick, so maybe it was actually the shoe kind of gripping up on me, and that did happen a handful of times. I felt like with the new shoe, that rubber outsole is always so grippy, and because of the extra layers on top of the toe box with like the leather and the rubber outsole, you definitely get a lot more grip, and that's not a bad thing, of course. Maybe requires a little bit longer break in. Um, with a new board, ooh, that could be rough. You know, fresh mob grip, fresh shoes, that would be tough. But overall, not bad. They gripped up on me a couple times, but after a couple flip tricks, I was able to kind of get more consistent with them. And yeah, I feel like they felt pretty good on flip tricks. I liked them. Like I said, I like land heavy footed on a couple tries, and I definitely wheel bit on a handful of tries, which kind of sucks. But overall, not bad. They broke in fairly well, and I felt like at the end of the session, um, they were good. And that I would end up rolling my ankle and not like just like rolling the shoe over. But hey, all good. I was actually surprised that like I really like the higher collar. It was nice. It wasn't done cheaply. I feel like it's got good padding, so I do think it provides a pretty decent ankle support. I really like that. I was pleasantly surprised. And I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip now. But one of the attempts where I was doing a shove nose grind, I had a try and the board popped up and it caught me in the ankle. And I was definitely glad to have that extra padding and higher collar there to help like soften the blow. I it was crazy. I was like, oh man, this one's gonna suck. And yeah, it smacked my ankle and pleasantly surprised and grateful. Yeah, it didn't hurt. So that's definitely a plus. I might actually have to start skating mid tops a little bit more. There's actually one of the things I want to talk about was the construction of the shoe, and there are a handful of things that I actually really like about the construction. One of which being the toe box, as I showed you previously, and I'm gonna put a video now, like as I'm talking, so I'll play over it. But you can see there appears to be like 3 layers of material on the toe box. Um, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. 2 are rubber and 1 of leather. Um, I don't know. I feel like this was super popular for skate shoes maybe like 8 to 10 years ago. I'm not sure who was to do it first. I felt like Converse maybe, but they started having like all that extra rubber on the toe box. And yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it then. I think it's just kind of the way it was implemented. I didn't really like the styling. This one flows super well, so I'm not mad at it. But I think that's a good thing because I think that could potentially help with the durability and longevity of the shoe. I think obviously improving materials and adding an extra layer of materials is definitely going to uh, help your shoes not blow out as quickly. So that's great. And like one thing that like I would be hesitant against for a shoe like this with like all the different materials and like stacking it like that. I'd be nervous that it would make for a thick feeling on like, you know, I could feel it on the top of my foot when I'm skating, but I don't, which is really good. And I also felt like I don't know, if you don't implement it correctly, it could look a little bit off and like maybe even chunky, just like super thick there, but it doesn't. So I think they did a really good job with that. So solid. Another great thing that I really like about the shoe is the overall width of the shoe. I got a fairly narrow foot, so I don't know. The shoe feels pretty narrow, and for me, that's really good. It's important to me. I know for others, it might not be the best, so that's something to consider if you're looking into the shoe. I think. Talking to the camera is so weird. I still feel so awkward with it. I think the width of this shoe largely correlates to the location of the laces. As you can see, the laces kind of like lay on the top of your foot rather than on the side. Let's see if I can get this right. It's weird. I'm looking at my computer at the camera angle. There we go. So they lay on the top of your foot rather than on the side, and I hope that kind of brings in these like eye stays closer together to make like a tighter feel. Again, I don't dislike that, and maybe it actually doesn't, and maybe it's just giving the impression that it does. Regardless, it's kind of a bonus for me. Uh, I feel like the laces might last a bit longer due to based on their location. I don't know, more on the top of the foot rather than the side, so they'll still rip. That's you know that's bound to happen. But I think given the location where they're at now, I think that it could actually help improve, improve like the laces durability and maybe just like longevity of them. Might not have to replace them as quick, which is always nice. Like I said, the one part I don't like about it is this like canvas quarter here, and like the canvas up at the collar here. But they do have like this interesting like strip of leather. It's hard to see. Is it in focus? There we go. This like strip of leather that comes across, like starting all the way from like the back of it, wraps around the heel, goes all the way to the toe box. All of this is leather. So I don't know. Maybe it'll help from the canvas from falling in on itself and like help keep its form, or maybe I'm just being optimistic. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to impact the integrity of the shoe too much, but I guess we'll see. And like, to be completely fair, I kind of understand where New Balance is coming from when they kind of like incorporating canvas into the shoe. I bet with the other pairs I was talking about earlier on their website with like that replace it with suede. Oh no. I bet if you, yeah, right. The ones on the website still have canvas on the quarter. So that's scratch what I'm saying. But if you did incorporate suede, I bet it would probably get really hot. And two, if you use like a higher quality material, like if it is all suede, it might be more expensive. So I kind of understand where they're coming from. Using canvas from like a budgetary and like breathability standpoint, if that makes sense. All right, I feel like we kind of touched up on all topics. We went over like the styling, good styles, lots of colors, pretty solid. Materials of construction, like I said, my pair, leather, canvas, and rubber, not bad. I'm not mad at it. And yeah, new pairs, suede, canvas, and rubber. So pretty standard, pretty traditional materials for skate shoes. Not bad at all. Break-in pretty solid. Overall good board feel. Ankle support was nice. Pretty tight, which could be a negative for some, but for me, I like it. And yeah. I will say though, with like the canvas tongue, I felt like there would be times where like I'd slip the shoe on, and just because like it is a midsole, you can't really just like slip them on like you could like a maybe a bit bigger of a shoe. And so like I untie it, I slip my foot in here, and I actually just like felt like so much pressure on my on like the top of my foot. Um, but I just feel like the material was kind of tight still. And yeah, second session broken, all good. And then 2 days ago, I had like my third session in them, and those were like that went perfectly. I put them on, no issues at all. So they felt super good. All right, that's all I've got. Like I said, I'm pretty excited to keep skating these shoes. They're my first pair of mid tops, and moreover, they're my first pair of New Balances. So we'll see how they go as I kind of like start to put them through the ringer. Hopefully, I can try to do some more flip tricks in them, flip in, flip out of something, maybe not both flip in or flip out, and kind of see how they hold up through some more rigorous testing. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty pleased with what New Balance has to offer. Some really good styles, some good materials, and overall pretty comfortable shoe. If this seems like something you're into, maybe give them a try. All right. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. If you like it, let me know. I'll gladly do more shoe reviews. As I said, I really fuck with Lakai Telfords, and I've got a handful of those. So I will definitely make a video on those if that's what people are into. All right. Thanks.